married life of men and women. If you want to know more about Mataji, she has a website called Radha Govinda and a YouTube channel as well. So with a loud Haribol, let's welcome her and her special DT, Jagannath. Where is he? He's coming. He's waiting for that, like drum rolls, and then he'll just appear. Haribol! So we have him also presiding today's session. And this afternoon, we have a special Mataji's Oli program at 5 p.m. At Reed's Crossing, so please don't miss it. And then tomorrow we'll have our Sunday Feast program. Monday evening, we'll have another program at a housewarming event for Vidakta Madhava Prabhu and Kirtida Mataji. And then on Tuesday evening, we have at Chandrasekhar Prabhu and Mataji's place, where they're inviting us all as a gesture of being married and inviting all devotees to serve everybody. So today we'll have a very interactive session. Matajis, be ready to move. We might move into the next room and we'll have a very nice session.
Move out of the farm.
Those of you who came in later and aren't aware, if you see a piece of paper, we were all requested to write questions about just our life, spiritual life, material life, family life that we have. It can be anonymous as well. Please feel free to write. We have a whole set here. I think Gaur has already beat us. He has 2 pages already. So if you want to get in your questions early, make sure Mataji has them on time. Thank you also. With a loud Haribol, we can start today's session. Haribol! Haribol! Haribol!
So let's see. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namini Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakata Damadaya Nagaragramadharani. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Good afternoon, everybody. So how are you feeling this weekend? We don't have a slideshow today. You're all going to make your own slideshows. Okay. I was watching an interview. It was a while ago. They were interviewing Bill Gates. And the interviewer asked Bill Gates, if there's one thing in your life you could have more, what would it be? He said, money. And this actually reflects very much the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? In order to even study Srimad Bhagavatam, we need to have a certain qualification. Not everybody can actually be a qualified recipient of what Bhagavatam can give us. And what is the primary qualification? More? I'm looking for one particular word here. Yeah, nirmatsaranam. So the whole point is about being non-envious. Only then can everything else you mention exist harmoniously. The moment that we become envious, that person has more money. No more going into these doors of opening. Lord Chaitanya has opened the door, treasure house of love. But in order to receive it, we need some of that nirmatsaranam. And this interview of Bill Gates, it really revealed one more element, right? Of the more. Because humans, we are tortured by this disease of more. There's always a need, the greed, that it's never enough. No matter how many gifts the husband gives us, it's never enough. No matter how many times the wife cooks the best meal, it's never enough. No matter how well the children do, it's never enough. No matter how many toys you have, it's never enough. So there is that element of wanting more. So today I wanted to share about the power. This is something I learned from teachers in my life, including my spiritual master, Jayapatak Maharaj, by his life and example. And he is also very greedy, by the way. If you didn't know something about Jayapatak Maharaj, we were traveling with His Holiness in South America. So we were in one of these airplanes. We got, when he's there, people are like bees around honey. Everybody was coming and talking about this problem and that problem. And there was so much politics and this leader fighting against that. There was all this thing going on. Then finally we took off. I was feeling a little bit like, relaxed energy. There's nobody coming and talking about problems. Then we were looking down. And he, as the airplane was taking off, and my Guru Maharaj is sitting near the window, he looked down, and the city started becoming smaller and smaller and smaller as we kept going up. And he just said, so much preaching. There's so much preaching. And I was like, wow. See, that's the difference. So Bhagavatam doesn't say give up hankering. In fact, what does Rupa Goswami say? Laulyam, right? Laulyam is one of the qualities. To have spiritual greed is one of the ways for you to experience the highest bliss. But it's like a double-edged sword. The quality of greed must be there, but in the right place, at the right time. So today, I want to share one secret. And that secret is something I learned from my grandfather. He was my first Vartma Pradasha guru. He was the first person who introduced me to Krishna consciousness, to Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada and everything. And he taught me this song, and I'm sure all of you who learned Carnatic music, we all learned this song. It goes like that. ಕೆರೆಯ ನೀರನ್ನು ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ವರವ ಪಡೆದವರಂತೆ ಕಾಣಿರು ಹರಿಯ ಕರುಣದು ಲಾದ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಹರಿ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಬದುಕಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲರಾಯನ ಚರಣ ಕಮಲವನಂಬಿ ಬದುಕಿ ಪದುಮನಾಭ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಉದದಿ ನಿವಾಸ ಉರಗ ಶಯನ ಉನ್ನತೋನ್ನತ ಮಹಿಮಾ ಯದುಕುಲೋತ್ತಮ ಯಜ್ಞ ರಕ್ಷಕ ಆತ್ಮಶಿಕ್ಷಕತೆ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ಕೆರೆಯ ನೀರನ್ನು ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ. Thank you. I'm very happy that so many of you know this song. Hariva. And we are in a Kannada household and Tamil household. We have to sing that. So this is Purandara Dasa, who's the incarnation of Narad Muni. And he is also Srivas Thakur. He appears, devotees appear again and again to help in the mission of the Lord. So in this song, Mataji, can you translate it? Your own words.
ಕೆರೆಯ ನೀರನ್ನು ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ means the well water is lake. Yeah, I'm not really good at ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ, putting it back there. ವರವ ಪಡೆದವರಂತೆ ಕಾಣಿರು. ವರ is boon. Yeah. ವರವ ಪಡೆದವ is the person who got the boon. ರಂತೆ ಕಾಣಿರು. Looks like you are the person who got that boon. Oh, mouth. No. No, he's saying keep the mic in my mouth. ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ವರವ ಪಡೆದವರಂತೆ ಕಾಣಿರು. ಹರಿಯ ಕರುಣ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಬದುಕಿರು. ಹರಿಯ ಕರುಣ means the mercy of Lord Sri Hari. ಕರುಣದು ಲಾದ ಭಾಗ್ಯ. Whoever gets that mercy of Lord Hari, Hari ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಬದುಕಿರೋ means give it back to Hari and lead your life like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the essence of Krishna consciousness. We are so fortunate that we are connected to Lord Chaitanya, we are connected to Srila Prabhupada, connected to the Parampara. We are blessed by the best. And what do we do when we get the best? Yes, we give it, we share it. And that's the way. See, when I heard this interview with Bill Gates, then I was thinking of the opposite lives of my grandfather, my spiritual master, my astrology guru. The common thing I found with them, they are all greedy too, but they're all greedy for association of devotees. They're all greedy for gratitude. They're all greedy to give back, to appreciate, to embrace that blessing. Some of us, we even miss out on embracing those blessings. So the secret formula is this. Maybe you knew, maybe you didn't know. When we came to Krishna consciousness, when we take up to spiritual life, good karma and bad karma both are destroyed. We usually think only bad is destroyed. Good is also destroyed. Because good is what entangles us, right? Good and bad is destroyed and something better is created. One thing we forget is when we're chanting the holy name and the good and bad is being washed off, because there's no good, bad, it's never equal. It's always a lot of bad karma, and then we're suffering, and it's reducing. Then good time comes, then we're finishing off the bank account of good karma. So it's a struggle. It's a never-ending black hole. But with spiritual life, what we don't realize, that it took me so many years to realize it. When you're chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, literally your chakras change. Your body and your mind opens up. And the risk is, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're affirming, it will happen. And usually the habit is we are in negative thinking. I'm not good enough, and the guilt and the shame and the anger and the greed. And so we get stuck with that. So what is happening is we are increasing more of that, multiplying. So the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is empowering our thoughts. So within our families, in our relationships with devotees, instead of multiplying Kereya Neeranu Kerege Chali, basically means what can you give Ganga? What's the best thing you can offer to Ganga? Ganga. There's nothing more you can offer to water Ganga than Ganga. Because as the purest, what can you offer to the Lord? Whatever He has given you. Right? We can only offer to Krishna what Krishna gave us. So, today we're going to practice that principle. Because the more you start thinking, I am empowered to serve my Guru's mission. I am an instrument. I am a worthy servant of Krishna. I am determined. I'm going to study and contribute to the society in such a way that Srila Prabhupada will be proud of me. If you constantly meditate in that way, instead of just spacing out, finding rescue, or, sometimes happens, right? You don't want to do some things and then we want to play, we want to do something. And in those moments, later comes what? Guilt. So when we're chanting Hare Krishna, if we want to be lazy, the laziness will multiply. And if we're chanting Hare Krishna and we are actually open for appreciation and love, that will increase. So this is a secret that it works like magic. You can try it in a few days. If you have a physical pain and you constantly tell yourself, I'm healing, I'm releasing this pain, it exactly will happen. So my dear friends, my dear Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, take advantage of this. You have superpowers, more than Harry Potter. Because, by the way, Harry Potter doesn't exist. But in this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that power exists. And one other thing that can help us to cultivate that paramo nirmat saranam satam, to cultivate an attitude of why the envy, it's a very scientific principle. If somebody has whatever it is, gold, let's say, okay? Somebody has a lot of golden jewelry and ornaments, and maybe for men is like gadgets, modern gadgets. And you look at that, this is beautiful. And then I say, this person has so much gold. So what's the immediate emotion? Yeah, could be envy, could be greed, could be jealousy, right? So if they say when you squeeze an orange, what comes out? Orange juice will come out. So when you're squeezed, what will come out? Depends on what is inside. So when you're squeezed, if what is coming out is envy and greed, and we are essentially, if this is the golden spoon, and I am envying, I'm putting the energy of envy and greed on the golden spoon. Actually, greed is a little better than but so if I'm putting that, what I'm doing is essentially on a karmic level, on a spiritual level, on a divine energy level, I'm saying, I don't want it. I hate it. That's the energy we're transmitting. We see some nice couple or a nice family, nice home. If I don't appreciate it, if I don't say things like, Krishna has blessed them with a nice home, if I don't cultivate that emotion, I'm literally rejecting something nice, something beautiful. So the Paramo Nirmatsaranam is a very scientific principle. As long as we don't learn to appreciate, to feel good about whatever it is, like I'm a writer. If somebody is selling a lot of books, and towards the idea of selling millions of books, if my idea is like, they're selling so many books, basically I'm saying I don't want to sell many books. But if I say, oh, it's so nice, you see, Krishna has blessed them with the ability to write nice books and they're distributing so many books, immediately your consciousness is freed. Immediately you're becoming happy. Immediately all you have to give is what? Orange is squeezed, orange comes out. If you're squeezed, if love comes out, appreciation comes out, gratitude comes out, there's nothing else you need. You're not going to be like Bill Gates who says, I want more money. Because he's not satisfied, obviously. Because every time he's seeing money, he's like, I don't have that. Because it's not like, he may be rich, but it's not that he has all the riches. Only Krishna has, right? Why? Because Krishna is and he has all riches. He has all strength. He has everything. So today, I have like 3 exercises in mind, but I really need you to cooperate with maintaining little silence, not talking when I'm giving instructions what to do. Now be good kids. Because it's like a school exercise. We need to do a little bit of discipline here. So the first exercise is very simple. Just find somebody sitting next to you. And there's only one question. And you should say whatever comes to your mind. So just pair up with somebody. Just look at somebody and you need to be able to sit close. Just, okay? Just look at somebody and wave at them and say, hey, hello, let's do this exercise together. It can be anybody, even if you don't know them, it's okay. Okay, you have it? Now, the next step is one is going to be A and one is going to be B. So who's going to be A? Raise your hand in your group. A's, all the A's. I need to see the hands up in every pair. Somebody should be A. Okay, very good. Usually A goes first, but today we'll change it and B will go first. Okay, so I need you see they are sitting like that. I want you to sit at least facing each other. Come close. You can come here. Use the room space. Don't sit on each other. Give little space. Very good. Very good. Excellent. So see, this exercise is something very powerful. Very, very powerful exercise. So B is going to start, because B comes first today. A, you're going to ask B, what do you want? Okay? You can make it short. Say, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I want A to harass B with this question, what do you want? Okay, and it should be consistent. Don't stop. The person will say, I want money. Say, what do you want? What do you want? Don't stop at them giving one answer, two answer, three answer. Keep asking until I say stop. And can we have a bell? Can you get a bell from the altar? The bell, the ringing of our altar bell. We need altar bell. So everybody understood the question, right? Doesn't matter what answer, anything that comes to your mind, say it. This is it's called a cathartic exercise in our professional field. Get out. Yes, thank you very much. So this bell, when I ring this bell, you're supposed to stop. Until you hear this, keep going. A should keep asking, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Constantly, consistently, at least 20 times should ask them. And B, keep answering. Keep answering. Questions? Any questions? It may be applicable to you. Yeah. Whatever comes to your mind, without stopping, you're supposed to answer. B, don't stop. Speak, speak, speak. Doesn't have to make sense. That we'll do later. Okay, ready? Start. He did very well. That's how you're supposed to do it. He was constantly going at him. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Okay, now A is going to answer. Now use your time to take revenge. So B is going to ask A, what do you want? Ready? Go. Oof, what a chaos. Okay, what happened? First things bad reads come out, right? So I would like to hear what came for you. Did something you didn't know, did it come out? Did something meaningful come out? When you were asked, what do you want? You want to share what do you want? What do you want to, yeah, what do you want? Yes. Really? Yeah. Wow. And why do you want that? You see, that's the thing. When you answer what do you want, he says he wants to be the one who chants the more rounds or loudest? Most rounds.
Yeah.
Then who? Anybody. He wants to chant the more number of rounds than anybody, like more than Haridas Thakur. Okay, so he wants to chant more than Haridas Thakur. So now we got the goal, right? Now the next question is to ask why. But that exercise we won't do here today. We'll stick with what. Who else likes to share? What came up for you? What did I want? That's the next round. I'm not sure you're done. I think you're. Okay. I hope so. You want all that. You want to do all that, then you need money. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So her point is very valid. Sometimes listening to others share what they want, it triggers in us. First of all, it triggers is what I want really what I want? The second thing is like, really? That's what you want? Well, that looks very wise. Right? So we learn. No? Yes, Mataji. Anybody else? What came up? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, yeah. Very nice. Yes. Okay. Okay. Good. You see, that shows the pendulum, the extreme. The mind has these extremes, right? And then finally, you have to ask, out of that, which one do you want? What do you want? Anybody else? Yes. Exactly. That's the point of this exercise. To exhaust it. Because sometimes it's not what we really want. Then after this round of questioning, we usually ask the question, what do you really want? Because first level is what do you want? Okay, just say, I want money, I want to go on vacations, I want whatever it is, right? I want this, I want fame, whatever, all that comes up. Then you ask, what do you really want? And what do you really want also means, what are you willing to give? Kereya neeranu kerege challi. What can you give to Ganga? Whatever is Ganga is you can give. What can we give the Lord? Whatever we have. What are you going to ask the Lord? Service, right? We ask the Lord the opportunity to serve, because everything else He'll give. Dhanam dehi, rupam dehi, you want good family, you want money, He'll give everything. But when you ask service, He'll say, wait a minute. Can you handle it? When you want association of devotees, say, wait a minute, I love my devotees. I don't know if I want to easily give you the association of pure devotees. So he will think. He's a person, right? He will think. And then anybody else? What else came up for you? What do you want? See, the point is not getting into the detail of what you want. This exercise has a deeper meaning. On one level, maybe some of us, we were holding back. I saw some of you were holding back. You were not really doing this exercise with that full heart. Like he was doing it from the other side. He went on and on and on and on asking. So did you give your 100% there? Did you let it out? Because if we didn't let out, it'll be stuck there. Then to remove it, you need close association. You need devotees with whom we can be honest. We call it something like a withhold. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was withholding. He was just trying to keep certain things. You need to process it. Then second level, so what you may have said in this room today may or may not be what you want. Some of us may not have revealed completely. Then there's another level. On your deep subconscious level, you do have some desires, you do have some goals, necessities, needs that we're not even in touch with. Don't even know. And then, of course, your soul has other things that it really wants. It wants all those higher qualities in Sattva Guna. So we have desires in Tamas Guna. I want to have a good sleep. I want to have a good home. These are all Dravya Shakti aspects of wants. It's normal, it's natural, it's healthy. So some of us may not think. I was staying in one of our guests in Seattle. The neighbor there cannot sleep. He makes $3.5 million a month, making some video games and something. And he earns a lot of money, but he cannot sleep. So we may not value, that's like a tamas guna aspect of, I want to be able to sleep nicely. Some people cannot do that. So it's a dravya shakti aspect of, I want to be able to sleep. I want a roof over my head. Now, there are some needs and wants in that level. Then there is a kriya shakti aspect of wanting. You all studied, right? The annamaya, pranamaya, right? There are levels. As a baby, all we want is yum, 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 yum. We just think of eating. By the way, Ayurveda says some people get stuck in that phase all life. They only think about eating. They never grow up. So we need to supposed to develop levels. Wherever we are at, whatever it is that you want today, if tomorrow also you still want the same thing, there's something not right. When you were in school, you may want one thing. But when you grow up and you become a teenager, if you want the same thing, it means there hasn't been the growth. So this exercise can help us. I would say we need to do this every week. Ask ourselves, what do I want? And then ask yourself, what do I want on a dravya aspect level? Means something you can touch, experience. What do you want on the kriya shakti level? What do you want to be engaged doing? Do you like to make garlands? Do you like to give classes? Do you like to study? Do you like to go around and make connections? What is the action-based need and want? Then, of course, there's a Jnana Shakti level. What do you want to experience? Like he was saying, I want to be able to chant more rounds than anybody else. Right? That's what Kriya Shakti. He wants to be able to do. But why? What do you want to experience by chanting a lot? What do you want to feel by chanting a lot? What do you want to feel? Okay, so something to answer. Why? Why do you want to be the person who chants a lot? Know that? Yeah, that may be your need, right? I want to be able to connect with Krishna. And somebody may say, I want to experience love. Somebody may say, I want to experience the peace and that calm. So the secret of this exercise, if you do it properly in Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, in the right priority, you can actually, like, he doesn't even need to chant the most number of rounds to feel connected, for example. You can connect now. You don't need to calculate and make sure that you are the person. Nobody else has chanted more rounds than me. Then I'll feel connected. So Krishna actually speaks about that point, that you don't need to have or do in order to feel. So this question is an important question. What do you want? So many levels of answers, right? Because we may say, I want Krishna, but are you clear on these levels? What do you want to do for Krishna? What can you share? Like, can you share your home? Like today we have our host open their home for us. They're using their Dravya Shakti to give Krishna to others, to let Krishna in. So what does it mean on the Dravya Shakti level that you want Krishna? And then we had Kirtan going on. Right? That was like, okay, what are you willing to do for Krishna? And of course, on the Jnana Shakti level, are you willing to give up envy for Krishna? Are you willing to give up all those anarthas, useless things that's getting in the way? And the secret is gratitude. We thank the Lord. So turn to anybody, it doesn't have to be the same partner you did the exercise. Look at the person next to you and you say, I am thankful for, and come up with 3 things. I'm grateful for, or I'm thankful for. This is the formula. Turn to the person next to you. Don't fight. One of you go first, and then you go. Go. What are you grateful for? So what are you grateful for? Yes. Okay. That's a good place to start. Anybody else? Association of devotees. Krishna consciousness. Services, seva, opportunities to do service. Okay. For common sense. Very nice, very nice. So, gratitude increases when you practice it. And when you feel grateful, you're opening doors to keep continuing feeling grateful. If we keep seeing half glass empty, and then you'll keep having half glass empty. So there are three types of people: pessimists, optimists, opportunists. So in Krishna consciousness, a pessimist will look, oh, half glass is empty, oh, half glass is empty. And the optimist says, oh, I have half glass, I'll keep this half glass. And the opportunist says, there's half glass of water, and he drinks it. So that should be us in Krishna consciousness. Drink the gratitude, drink the mercy, take advantage so that you can get more. Because when you drink half glass, what you have, you will get more half glass. If that's your karma, keep drinking. So take mercy, take advantage. Now, there are some questions here. We won't be able to go into everything, but something we'll touch upon, and then we'll go into our exercise. But this questions, we can actually do another exercise if we have time in the end. Then we'll get all these questions answered. Let's see the time. I like this question. How do you connect playing sports with Krishna? Who has an answer? Did you read this question? Okay. What does it mean playing it for Krishna? What if you lose? Krishna, you made me lose. Okay, that's one way. That's one way. What else? How can we connect playing sports? Yeah, Krishna likes to play sports. Yeah, I like that. So that's a good way. See, she said, thank Krishna for the ability that you have the energy, you have the drive, you have the skill to play the game. We thank Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. You gave me that. And to realize and remember that Krishna also plays. Then what else? Yes. Make you humble, right? So the winning and losing, it's the courage to show up. Like Arjuna, he was hesitating to fight the war. And Krishna said, it's your duty. So sometimes playing that game is your duty. And then whether what will happen, the result is not in our control. We thank the Lord. Thank you for giving me legs that I can run. The result is up to you. It's a practice. It's a cultivation. While playing sports, you can actually cultivate detachment. Otherwise, you cannot play a game. If you want to win every time, you cannot play a game. That's another way to see. Yeah. Okay, that's like, yeah, kind of the opportunist mentality. Okay, very good. See, this question here is also how to always have a positive energy, and because it's easy to become sad and negative for every little thing. So what is the secret for positivity? What's the secret? Yeah? Yeah? How do you do that? Sometimes I'm not feeling to remember Krishna. I don't feel to chant sometime. I think I can manage that. Yeah, but sometimes when I'm depressed, I don't want to think about those things. I don't want to think about that either. Yeah, be in the association of those who are positive. And one secret, because this question is asking about me, it says that I can see positivity dripping from you every second. How do you do it? So one thing I do, one of my secret is that it's hard to be happy and positive by ourselves, right? But when we share it with others, it multiplies. Like I said, if I want positivity, I have a group. This is only for Vaishnavis. If you want to join, you let me know. We have a group that anytime we're not feeling that, we call somebody in the group. We just message and say, anybody free for a call? And usually it's a timed thing, 4 minutes, or sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes 4 minutes. Then the person calls you back, and you just say, look, this happened and this happened. I'm not really up to feeling really positive. And the other person gives you something, some feedback, some inspiration, sometimes nothing. You just share. And then you listen to the other person for 1 more minute. So you have become available as giving space for positivity for the other person. Immediately you feel uplifted, literally in 2 minutes. Because you have got out of your mind. So my secret is, whenever I'm feeling down, I ask somebody, does anybody need some listening ear to listen? And the person calls me, I just listen to them. So I just made myself show to Krishna that I am available for somebody to feel positive. Then I also share. Okay, there is that. So there's that exchange. So you can do that. You can have your own friends circle, maybe 2-3 people, where you can share. Like we did, what do you want? Why I'm not feeling positive? Because this happened and I'm feeling down. When you get it out, you immediately will have the space to breathe again. Another thing I also do is fix certain time commitment with people every day at certain hour to study Bhagavatam, to do chanting together, to do verses together. So I have to show up. I have to be positive because people are depending on me. So maybe even if I'm feeling in the worst mood, in a minute I'm actually uplifted because I have surrounded. Even if I don't feel to wake up early in the morning, I have to, because the people are waiting there 4:30. I have to show up. So putting yourself in commitment to be in the association of those who are like-minded. Maybe it's Bhagavatam, maybe it's shlokas, whatever it is for you. That's another secret. And everything else you said is valid too, but we need sometimes a little support. Clutches, and the clutches is association of devotees. And this question about how to connect playing sports with Krishna, whether it's playing sport, which is like an activity which is very physical, or if we're feeling sad and depressed and emotional, Krishna wants you to share that with him. Sometimes, Indian conditioning is that we have this huge wall between Krishna and us. That's why I said maybe some of you didn't do this exercise properly. You were thinking too hard and saying, what should I actually want? According to Bhagavad Gita, this is what I want. That was not the exercise. So if you were thinking, what is the right thing to say? It means you didn't do the exercise. The point is this: Krishna doesn't want that wall. He wants you for who you are. He wants you with all your vulnerabilities. Whole Srimad Bhagavatam is devotees who made mistakes and errors. And the whole Srimad Bhagavatam is about those who are vulnerable and Krishna reciprocating with them. Bhagavatam is not about showing your strength. It's about being open about our weaknesses. Because Krishna is not like us. If we got our actions wrong, but the intention is right, he will take our intention. And if we got our actions right and intention wrong, he'll take our action. No, that's Krishna. We are opposite. Like, if the action is right, we'll say, what may be wrong in the intention? We look behind that. We're always finding some. But Krishna is the opposite. He's Jagannath. See, in the altar, he, Nimisho Nimishasragvi Vachaspati Rudharadhi. He never closes his eyes to the good that devotees are doing. He's always saying, you see, he did that right. Oh, she did that right. So that's Jagannath. He never closes his eyes. He's always, and he's also Balaji, who's always having his eyes closed to the mistakes of the devotees. He never counts your mistakes. He doesn't care about your mistakes. So, but what he cares is the connection. So, you cannot have a wall. You need to be honest. He doesn't care if you want $1 trillion or you want to go on a vacation. He doesn't care about that. He just wants that you let him in, which Yudhishthir could not do. 11th canto, if you study, Uddhava asks Krishna, you're supposed to be Apad Bandhava. You're supposed to help everybody. You didn't even help Pandavas. You were losing again and again and again, throwing these dice, and you were not helping them. Why? That's actually one of the other questions here. And the answer is that, you know what Krishna said? What did Krishna tell Uddhava? Why he didn't come and help Pandavas? Supposed to be close friends, best friends. No. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't call Krishna. He said, I was waiting at the door. But they didn't call. So sometimes we have our own whatever. We're not calling Krishna in. We have this huge wall. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do that. Krishna says like this in the Gita, Bhagavatam. We get lost, but we're not letting him in. We're not letting him in our lives. Do you know what Krishna tells Uddhava? Imagine if I played against Shakuni. He says, imagine what that would be like. Because Duryodhana, he said, I don't want to throw the dice. Shakuni will throw. So Krishna says, I was waiting that Yudhishthira will call me to play against Shakuni. That would have been a game, right? But Yudhishthira didn't call him. So please don't do that. If you have Shakunis in your life, call Krishna. Don't try to handle it on your own. Okay, ready for the next exercise? I love this exercise. Everybody needs to have a piece of paper for this. Yes. 11th. 11th canto, the chapter. I mean, you should go in the Veda base and find it. Door, waiting at the door. Krishna talks about this whole thing with door. You can try to find. I can't remember the chapter. It's between you, Uddhava and Krishna. Very interesting conversation. Uddhava actually says like, come on, you're acting like worse than how you treat enemy. You didn't go to help him. You're supposed to be apat bandhava. How can I believe that? Uddhava says. You know, he's quite challenging. He becomes quite challenging. I think I don't know if the word must be there. Must be there. Yeah. Uddhava conversation. You can search door, apat bandhava, Pandavas, Yudhishthir. And Krishna says, I was waiting. I was waiting that they will call me. And he says something about waiting at the door or something like that. Yes, Prabhu. Are you sure? Did you dial the right number? Such an excellent question for the beginning of our next exercise. The answer is this. Krishna hears you through the ears of his devotees. Krishna hears us through the ears of his devotees. We cannot approach Krishna directly. We just cannot. We cannot approach Krishna. We cannot approach Jagannath. We can only approach the devotees. So Krishna will hear us when we talk to devotees. When we are glorifying Krishna, he's like, oh yeah, whatever, this person is saying blah, 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 Chinese something. But when we actually appreciate devotees, then Krishna is hearing us. So there's a language to approach Krishna. He's Bhavagrahi Janardhana. He doesn't only look at what we are saying at the moment we close our eyes and say. He's looking at our whole day. He's looking at our whole life. He's looking at how I'm treating others. He's looking at everything. So the score sheet is not dependent only on what we write. It's also dependent on many other behaviors. So one of the easiest way to crack the exam is to share our heart to the ears of a devotee. Whether it's a painful prayer, asking the Lord to help, or maybe it's a gratitude. Because okay. I've heard this from many of my mentors. Try this thing from today. Pray for someone else. Okay? When you pray for someone else, he'll immediately respond. Paramo nirmatsaranam satam, that's his branding. Krishna's branding is that. Once somebody asked my Guru Maharaj, what is this secret for your strength? How are you able to go on like this, go on and on and on? He said, because I pray for the devotees. He has a book of names, everybody. And then he says, would you like me to pray for you? And then you write the name. And every single day he prays for all those devotees. And he says that's where he gets the strength from. So there are formulas. Because Krishna's personality type is little teda. He doesn't stand straight. Krishna is always crooked. So to approach him, you also have to do some methods, such as wishing well for others, feeling happy for others, blessing others, giving presents to others, appreciating others. Immediately you will see Krishna reciprocating. Because he doesn't like people who are self-absorbed. Are you sure? Please. Yeah, it can. Yeah. Self. Okay, first of all, the premises that Krishna is not listening to you, it's not valid. How do you know Krishna is not listening to you? Okay, first of all, it's not true that Krishna is not listening to you, first of all. Second, it seems more like Krishna is not being controlled by your desire, is what you're saying. Your desire, maybe somebody should be cured of something, and you're saying that Krishna is not giving you what you wanted. But that's one way of praying. But the actual prayer is to ask the Lord, if you so desire. And then we are not anymore controlled by our mind thinking that, hey, Krishna, come here, these are my list of things. Please get all these things done for me. He's not an ATM machine. He's not an order supplier. So see, this is very important. This question is very important. Most of us may have that kind of thinking, but it's little risky to think that Krishna is not listening to me. It's a little bit tamas guna. Because in tamas is also me. Rajas is also me. The difference is that when we put Krishna in the center, we are not depressed. We are not ambitious. Because the point here is not you. The point is not, I am praying. The point is, I am praying. The point is to put Krishna in the center. So when you put Krishna in the center, then my grandmother used to say, we sometimes say, oh, poor Pandavas, they had to go on an exile. My grandmother say, hey, what you're saying, no, poor Pandavas, they're very happy. Because Krishna is always with them. So the point is, the definition of praying, definition of what it means Krishna hearing you. Okay? And the definition of what's good for the other person. Krishna doesn't look at our situation here and now, oh, I want to pass this exam. If I pass, then Krishna is listening to me and he is merciful to me. If he does not let me pass, then he's not. That's not the definition. Because Krishna is looking at our life in not just one lifetime. He's looking at several lifetimes. So, very important mindset shift is required here. To have faith that Krishna does listen. He cares about every prayer of yours. He cares about every thought. But the way he reciprocates, yes, it is ye yathamam prapadyante. Ye yathamam prapadyante. It doesn't say ye ichham prapadyante. It's not about Krishna will respond according to your desire. He will respond according to your intention, your motivation. And we need Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Even for me to see you properly without the blurring, I need this glass. What to be able to determine if Krishna is listening to me or not? I need different set of ears, different set of eyes to understand that. So very important to have that faith, believe in Guru, Sadhu and Shastra and know that Krishna is listening. He may not give what you want immediately. But again, the secret is what? Ears of his devotees. You want to touch him? Hug devotees. You want Krishna to hear you glorify? Glorify the devotees. Sometimes we don't do that enough. Even, see, every prayer, Srimad Bhagavatam prayers, no, it's not all Krishna give me that, Krishna give me this, Krishna fix this situation, Krishna please avoid war. This morning I was listening to Prabhupada lecture and he was saying it's very artificial to expect a world without war. He says it's not the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. He was speaking about it. So it's not that we have Krishna give me that, Krishna, that's not prayers. First we start with what? Glorification. So when we say I want association of devotees, it's not just, hey, come here, give me association, I need it. That's not the idea, right? We actually serve the devotees. And I heard that your community is pretty equipped in that way. You are in that mood, you're helping, serving each other. But there's another level to that serving. It's acknowledgement. And when you're appreciating the devotee, you're not trying to do it so you can get them in the good books and next time you need prasadam when your spouse has gone to India, they'll bring you prasadam. No, we're not speaking conditional service. We are doing it because Krishna hears us, not hears the words. He hears our intentions. So today, all of us will get a chance to do this. Thanking or appreciating those devotees that you live amongst. And like Mataji said, very good point. We don't only think, hey, please bless my children, bless my wife, bless my mother, bless my sister. But we go beyond those who may not give you prasadam when we need it also. So this is a shift of, I have so much positivity that when I'm giving you extra, I'm not losing anything. I'm praying so much with so much faith because I'm an instrument. Like, how many yagyas can this spoon do? How many? You're a trillionaire, tell me. How many? Give me a number, at least 3 trillion? Infinite may be doubt, how do you say, questionable, but because, it's matter. But depends on the person who does the yagya. If I can only do one yagya, only one. Maybe Prabhuji can do 100 yagyas. Right? Then, so the instrument is not worried about how many rounds to chant. The beads are not thinking how many rounds will be chanted upon. Because it's not about numbers. It's not about numbers. The capacity, like Prabhupada, advanced age, he built 108 temples. And we are still growing, thriving because of him. Why? Because he wrote, if you brought me here to dance, make me dance like a puppet in your hands. So Prabhupada didn't say, here I am, I'm a pure devotee. I have everything, I'm not vulnerable. I can handle the world. I'll convert all these nonsense people into brahmanas. No, he went with a very humble mood. So association of devotees is also about the humble mood. Not in the mood, I can help, I can do. That Krishna doesn't care. Even if you build 1,000,000 temples, he'll say, yeah, okay. My grandmother used to say that. Even if you build 1,000,000 temples, Krishna will not even notice you. But you bring one flower, he'll never forget. He'll be, my grandmother used to say, he will be indebted to you. That's her, she studied 25 times Bhagavatam. And that's her conclusion. That one flower, he'll not forget. He can forget 1,000,000 temples you built for him. Because in that flower, he takes that intention and Bhavagrahi Janardana. That's why he says what in Gita? What's the famous verse? Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prachati tadaham bhaktya upahritam ashnami prayatatmana. What's the translation? Yeah. Alex, yeah. I mean, Krishna is such a simple God. Huh? He doesn't have any inferiority complex. So we're going to do this exercise. On top of the piece of this paper, you're going to write your name, big and clear. And in case you have maybe two names of people with same name, couple of you, make sure you write something in the bracket so people understand. Good. Everybody has a paper? Big, a little big. Your name should be big on the top. Big. Yeah, in the middle. Yeah. Everybody has a pen or a pencil. And it's good if you have something to keep below. So I'm going to be in the middle here in the corridor, walking that side, this side. And all the Matajis will go to Jagannath room. And you're going to sit in a big circle and wait for my instructions. And all the boys will stay here. Think. Can you count? Here also we're going to make, he's counting, just give me a second. Let me see how you wrote your name. Good. So how many? 25. So we are going to make two groups here. One group of Prabhus, please make a nice big circle here. Everybody should be able to see each other. Big circle. Move this mridanga. And if somebody is on the chair, accommodate them to make sure that they are also in a circle. You boys, you can come here. At least two, how many you said? 25? How many you said? 25. So 12, 13 of you can be here. One big group, one big circle. And you should be close to each other. So the paper should be given like that. So you need to sit close to him. Yeah. Prabhu, you should also, if you can. You can have him with you and... Pen, papers, everybody has? Okay. This would be, maybe you need another paper, or you can write the name here because we'll need all the space.
So you said write it big.
Yeah, big, but yeah, here.
Did you say big?
Yeah, not middle meaning. I thought I was telling one Prabhu, he was
On the
trying.
top.
Yeah, top. Sorry, write your name on the top, not in the middle. Sorry. On the top. You need to sit a little close to him. Connection, don't break the chain. The chain has to be clear. Let me check if the ladies are sitting nicely. You need to connect this. It should be a full circle. Anybody counted? How many? 19. 19 means, it's okay. Yeah, one circle is, just stay close. Great. When I speak in the mic, you cannot hear, right? Not like a mic. I have to speak separately here. Okay. You heard? Great. So this exercise requires little discipline, focus, but I promise you it will be worth it. Get into the mood of sharing with Krishna some appreciation about the Sangha that you are blessed with. what we're going to do is everybody has a piece of paper with your name on it. And when I ring this bell, not yet, but when I'll ring it, you're going to pass that piece of paper to the person sitting on the left. Okay, like Madhava, you will give to Prabhu, and Som Prabhu will give to Vivek. Vivek Prabhu will give to Madhav Gaurang Prabhu. So, when I ring that bell, then you will have Ram Prasad Prabhu's paper. You will have the paper of the person sitting right of you. You're going to get 50 seconds. 50 seconds to write something about that devotee. It could be thank you for keeping the prasadam that particular time. Or you can say you are a very good singer, or whatever it is that you appreciate about that devotee. It can be qualities, you're compassionate, you're awesome, or it can be an event. But remember, you only have 50 seconds. Yes. Yes. The person who you will get the paper, that person. Yes. About the person that you have the paper. So, all of you, yes. Everybody will get everybody's paper. Right? When I ring the bell, the paper should move simultaneously. Everybody should move the paper at the same time. Otherwise, there's going to be a chaos. Any questions before we start? Mataji. So everybody should move the paper at the same time. After you write, yeah. So you're going to write about, first one will get Priyanka. She'll get yours. You're supposed to write about Priyanka. Then when I ring the bell, you're supposed to give Priyanka's paper to the person left. So after you write about the person next to you, the bell rings, the paper needs to go to the left. So like that, you will get every person's paper. Is it clear? Clear, very clear. Yes. Who wants pencil? Okay, lack of pencils. Prabhu, one pencil. We need to wait for Prabhu to have the pencil. Shreya. What is Shreya? Here. Shreya, maybe some of you don't know. Take a minute to introduce. Let Shreya go. Yeah, that's it.
I'm Shreya. I've been a photo freelancer myself.
You like
Yes, very new, but it's very
so this is so you see, this is a good circle that needs to be clear. Are you between these two or there? Yeah. Every Thank you. Hare Krishna. You want to do what? Huh? You want to sit? She wants to speak. He wants to speak. Sorry. Okay. The group which is supposed to finish first is still. Okay, may I have your kind attention, please? Obviously, these are the tools in your toolbox of advancing in Krishna consciousness. You can do this even after this seminar. It's not only, you should appreciate devotees only when Sri Radha Govinda Dasi from Mayapur comes here. It's not like that. No problem. So, let me hear a few realizations before we end our session with the last game we have. How was this exercise? Maybe we can have the mics passed around. Oh yeah.
It was a great exercise, Mataji. As you said, like when we are down, we can go and read this. So it's going to be like a souvenir.
Yes, it's your souvenir, your certificate of participation. You can put it on your mirror. Anytime negativity comes, right? Mind says, wah, 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 says, stop it. This is what Krishna thinks about you. This is what devotees think about you.
And also I met I got introduced to a devotee that I've been like longing to talk to. So that was great. And thank you, Brijalata Mataji. And actually our kids go to the same school, but I actually personally spoke to her and met her and shared enthusiasm for the first time. So thank you.
Wonderful. Jai. Please pass the mic around to who likes to share. What was your realization after this exercise?
There were some Matajis that I was easily able to say something about, and others where it's like beyond like a simple adjective of like she's very sweet, loving. Like there's something like I wanted to think of something more, so I realized like which Matajis I still have to develop a better relationship with.
Thank you. That was one of the main goals of this exercise. Sometimes we don't even know each other. We don't know things about them. And same thing with Krishna, right? We don't even know enough about him. If you don't study Bhagavatam, you don't have study groups, how will we know Krishna? And so it's a double, how do you say, two birds with one hit. You study with the devotees, you get to know the devotees, and you get to know Krishna more. Thank you.
So, Mataji, I was able to appreciate the fact that Prabhupada created this family for us to meet these people. I'm not sure if I would have made any effort to kind of meet anybody if it's not for this wonderful set of devotees. So that whole platform, right, that Prabhupada, like his vision, the way he created this, and the Guru coming at you and telling you that there is Krishna existing, I don't think I would have gone and known or noticed if it was not for this beautiful set of devotees.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki! Anyone else likes to share your experience? Hey boys, did you enjoy that? I know you're waiting to read it, but maybe you are. Mataji still didn't get to read it, but you already read yours? You can frame it, put a nice frame around it. Okay, now we'll go to the last part of it's a game. We have a game. There will be 4 winners. And we need volunteers. We need 4 volunteers. Also some adults. Mataji, yes, good. Next. Prabhu, and who else? We need 4 chairs to be put here for the 4 volunteers. Mataji, please come. So you both are one team, like. But do we have enough chairs? Can we sit here? Please come. At least we have 2 Matajis, right? Yes, 2 Matajis. You're still up or not? Please come. This is like a rapid fire round. We need one more Prabhu participation of one. Yes, please. You both. Mataji. No. You have to sit. 2 Matajis, you can sit. And can we have 2 chairs for the Prabhus here? Actually, you can sit there only. It's okay. You can sit there only. We'll all turn towards them when they speak. And you also need chair. Can you both sit on one chair? Who is Gaur here? You're Gaur. Okay. So, we have questions. Kereya neeranu kerege challi. These are the questions asked by you. And we have our special panel discussion speakers today. They have kindly volunteered to give us answers to the most urgent questions of our life. So, this is yours. You can read. You will go at the end. Okay. First will be Vaishnavis here, and then will be Vaishnavas there, and then will be our what do you call them? Gopa boys. Thank you. Everybody should give full attention. You may hear something very important, and you may hear it for the first time in your life. Okay. You can pick any of this. Okay, can we have this passed on there? Don't open it yet. Ready? We'll start with you. Okay, anybody wants to exchange the papers? Whatever you know, we will appreciate you giving your best. And if you want, you can ask for volunteers to support your cause, and you can get somebody along with you. You can, like, how do you call a friend? Sorry? Not speak on your behalf, but you can team up with them. And now is your chance. You want to call somebody from there? You want somebody?
Yes, Mataji.
Ask. You can call a friend. Okay, please join her. Extra one. You don't need more. Okay, there is. You want to. So that was one lifeline gone here. There's another lifeline. If anybody wants to use, you can use your phone to Google some answers. And you'll only get 1 minute to do it. If you want. So you're ready to go? Okay, let's. Not to read means don't read loudly. Like, you read. Yes, you can read it. Now is the time. Everybody read your questions. And if you want to use a lifeline, you can. You can either look at your phone or get someone else in your audience to help you. Audience poll. You can use Haribo, God. You can use audience poll by making that question as a ABC. Make that question into ABC and you can ask the audience to vote for it. Think about it. Use your brain. So are you all eager to hear the scholars? Very. So there is a question here, only I can answer that, so I'm going to go with this while we wait for our special speakers to prepare. Please tell us about the books written by you. So I'll start with the latest one that I finished in Portland. This is a book on Mahabharat characters, and a special focus is on Duryodhan in this book, the villains of Mahabharat, and what personality trait or what qualities ruled their psyche. And so it's a book combination of Mahabharat characters, and also there are other characters described there. Yudhishthir and Bhima and Bhishma, everybody's character is described. And this is a particular tool called Enneagram. Maybe some of you know it. Enneagram, there are 9 types of personalities. So this book is like something I've taught, researched for a long time, for a few years. So Portland has been very lucky for me. I was able to finish the last chapter and conclude it. I couldn't sleep the night I arrived here. I have my Mercury line going over Portland. I'm doing a research with my astrology, and then it was exactly as like that. My Mercury was all active. So that's one book. So Mahabharata and Enneagram characters, especially the villain characters, and how they worked, and how it helps us and how it's relevant is Anartha Nivriti. Even Daksha is one of the characters that are devotees, but he had some tendencies which were dysfunctional. So this book can help us connect with certain anarthas and work on it and bust it. So, okay, that's one. And the other book, it's a little bit controversial. It's about ghosts and bhutas and how we can find liberation from curses, generational curse, etc. by reciting mantras. So it's a book that my astrology teacher asked me to put together. And it's a little bit of a horror category, I suppose, because there's a lot of descriptions about there are 11 types of ghosts, and how people who eat meat attract a certain level of, anybody who eats meat, they have ghosts living in their body, basically. Because when you eat, the Brahma Rakshasas are the top categories. But there are these white ghosts which are very small, and they're attracted to people who live unclean. Anyway, that's one more that I finished. And then I have this book called Are You Ready for Saturn? It's a story, it's a novel. It was my first novel, actually. About a girl who fears Saturn because she's going to enter Saturn period. So there's a whole Vedic perspective on how Saturn can be a good teacher. And then there's another book called The Wild Side Inside. The reason why we are all in this material world, all those what do you want on the upper level. So dealing with that in a Krishna conscious way, and how Varaha Dev is the lord of Rahu and Matsya Dev is the lord of Ketu, and how Srimad Bhagavatam and especially these 2 avatars can help us liberate from this black hole of why we are here in this world and the growth. And then this was my first book, How to Mess Up Your Life with Astrology. She's freaking out. So sometimes weak-minded individuals go from astrologer to astrologer to astrologer because they're confused and they don't want to eat like this. So they want to feed themselves like this. So this is about how not to mess up your life with astrology. And there's another book called Awaken Your Spiritual Destiny. It became bestseller on Amazon. It's about basics of bhakti yoga based on what I learned from my grandfather and grandmother. Then there's another novel. It's like a relationship novel. Like it's about marriage, like that. And then I wrote a premarital training, one for men and one for women. What men need to know before getting married, and what women need to know before they get married. Because usually men marry thinking the woman will never change, and she immediately changes after marriage, and and the women think that the men will change. They see potential in men, and men don't change. So there's a whole training. It's a ISKCON, proper teachings based training, like that. I don't know if I left out any book, but those are the categories. Ready? Steady? You go first. You read the question and then you tell the.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. We got a very lovely question. If Krishna is Satchidananda, full of bliss, why does he need the love of his devotees? So, two-part answer. First is my realizations, and second will be Mataji's realizations. So, why Krishna needs love of his devotees? Krishna is devoid of love. It's one thing, being a supreme lord, it's one thing that he lacks. That's what I think. He wants, being the supreme lord, he also wants something that is very precious. That's what his devotees can give, love. That is, as you all know, that is the most precious thing. And at the same time, he's our devotee, he's our Lord. He's also being very kind to us. He's actually challenging us. Giving love, as you know, is not very easy. So, by asking for love, he's trying to be greedy. He wants us to inculcate those good qualities in us, so that we can actually give him love. That's what I think. Sorry for the last sentence. I think I should not say that. Yeah, thank you.
So, Mataji, I think you should correct me. I'll try to tell what I know. So, there is this Kirtan where Narottam Das Thakur says that Krishna surrenders to his devotees. So, he's completely surrendered to anybody that is giving him so much love. And so, what I have written down is the mother loves a child and the child loves the mother back, right? But when the child like picks up one morsel of food from his plate and puts it in the mother's mouth, like that feeling is ecstatic. It's not because we don't know. It's just because that love, that affection, that is what Krishna is looking for, I believe, and that's all we can give back. Like Mataji said, you can't give anything to Ganga. You have to only give the water back, right? So that's part of what I think. But maybe.
Thank you. Anyone else likes to add any other Shastric reference? Why does Krishna, being Satchidananda, need the love of his devotees?
Because all the living entities are his parts, like his parts and parcels, so he wants their love since they're him, like the Jiva and the Paramatma. So of course he does.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
He doesn't like he's self-satisfied, but he wants it because devotee and God interaction. So he wants the love of the devotee.
Good. I'm looking for one particular particular thing. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. By the way, that is scriptural. You may not know the reference, but that is scriptural. There's actually a song. It's a Vaishnava Acharya song that encapsulates, summarizes what you said. It's a little bit like a higher bhava kind of song. We may not want to pray like that every day to Krishna, but it's like a little level. It's a higher level. The song is like this. Mataji will understand. Yanagu aane ranga ninagu aane yanagu ninagu ibbarigu ninna bhaktarane. So this is like, say, my dear Krishna, we're having a deal here, a contract. Okay? It's a deal between you and me, the devotees and the Lord. And in that, there are different clauses, like we have in a document, we have clauses, right? And one of the first clauses, Tanumana dalivanchakanadare yanage aane. So if I do A, B, and C, what is it? If I betray with my body, for example, if I engage in bad habits, and if I if I think bad thoughts, and if I use my money for wrong purposes, then my side of the contract is broken. Okay? Laukikava ni bidisadiddare ninage aane. But then it's like a double side, right? Contract is usually two sides. So it says, Krishna, but if you don't help me give up material desires, then your side of the contract is broken. So it's such a lovely song because the whole power and responsibility is on his side. And then it says, Kakumanujara sangava madidare nage aane. Dutta manujara sangava madidare nage aane. Ranga Shishtara sangava kodisadiddare ninage aane. So if I associate with bad people, it's my side of the contract broken. But if you don't give me good association, then it's yours. Then there's the other one also. Shishtara sangava madadittare yanage aane. Ranga dushtara sangava bidisadiddare ninage aane. So once you give me good association, it'll be my part of the responsibility if I don't associate with them. I'll make sure I'll associate if you send me. But you should also cut me off from bad association. So the whole song is the deal, the contract deal. Krishna, as you said, he wants us to be happy. And he knows that what is our swarupa? Jiver swarup hoy? Krishna Nityadas. That's our tendency to love, to connect with the Lord. That's us. And then we are like beggars, homeless people running around in the street. And our parent is a Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. So he says, stop wandering in the streets, come home. Father wants us to be happy, right? And the rest of the answers too, he's a lovesick blue boy. At the end, he's a supreme personality of Godhead. But he does not, like, I just want to add what Mataji said. The theme can be, he doesn't control our free will. That's his extent of love. And he wants to test our extent of what are you going to offer. I'll love you unconditionally. What is your? And all he wants us to do is be connected in the right association. So beautiful answers. Thank you very much. there is a Siddhanta level of answer, means a theology, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, what's the Siddhanta, what's the philosophy level of answer, and then there is the Bhava level of answer. The Bhava is, what's the emotion of Krishna? What does he feel? What does he want? Because Krishna always is, like I said, Teda, right? He's standing threefold bending form. He's never straightforward. So his purposes are also very many branches, many levels. One is the theology level and one is the rasa level. On a rasa level, what he wants from each of us is dependent on our mood. Gopis want that conjugal affection with Krishna. So therefore, their love means one thing to him. So on a bhava level, on the mood level, we can say Krishna wants to experience that special love everybody can give. Nobody can love him the way you do. And he wants that because he likes that. Thank you. So let's give them a big hand. You're ready.
So there are two questions. The first one is, when we have tough times in life, should we take it as blessings? How to anchor our faith to the Lord during those times? So when I read this question, immediately I was reminded of Queen Kunti's prayers, where Queen Kunti asks for Lord Krishna to give them tough times so that she can always remember him. And it's just a wonderful way of praying to the Lord, right? And it always gives me goosebumps when I think about Queen Kunti's prayers. And how do we anchor our faith? I think it comes through practice, because I'm a neophyte devotee. What I've learned over the past few years is always remember that Krishna is protecting you from something very big. Rather than throwing a boulder on you, he's just throwing a pebble at you. And whenever something goes wrong in your life, the first thing I want to do is just go thank Krishna that, okay, it's just this. It wasn't something much worse than this. Anything could have happened, right? And also, how once you surrender yourself to the Lord, Krishna says that you don't have to worry about your past karma. I'll remove every sinful reaction from you. All you need to do is surrender to him with faith. And I definitely think it comes with practice. Every time there's something wrong going on, you just go and thank the Lord instead, saying that, okay, I know you've been protecting me, and this is just your cute Teda way of testing me, like Mataji says. And I always remember to have faith in him. And he's definitely not going to let go of his devotee, because he makes Arjuna promise to everyone that I will never let go of my devotee. Right? The second question is, I'll finish both the questions and then okay, Mataji. Second one is it okay to share our problems with devotees? And I think totally yes, because I think there are, one of the sweet exchange that you can have with a devotee is considering that devotee as a confidante. I don't know if that's the right word, but I think you should definitely go and open up to a devotee. You should have one such person in your life where, just like the examples that Mataji gave, just take the phone and call the devotee, and then you don't need to listen anything back from them, just vent it all out. And I think, that will definitely help. I've always done it. And also, I think it is there in the Shastras that you should, one of the way you reciprocate sweet exchanges between devotee is to reveal your secrets, or have confidentiality relationship between you and that person. Yeah, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you so much. First one you answered is exactly what Prabhupada said. The hand should be cut off, but actually a little thing, only my finger got hurt. So let's give her a big hand. Yay. Thank you. Yes, like the exercise we did, Krishna hears us through the ears of the devotees. So we should, but be careful. Don't share everything with everybody. The motivation is very important. Why we are sharing? Do we really need help? Or do we want to just talk about it? So the motivation is very important. So thank you. Boys, are you ready? You're going to make a drama or something?
No. I'm taking screen.
Role play.
Read the thing. I'll give you.
So, no, it's fine. So I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. So this is what the question says. Hare Krishna Mataji. How to develop a mood of not always thinking of selling, of getting praise, focus, and attention. How to systematically, practically get rid of cause of the eye disease.
Okay, I'll take it. Okay. Fine. So the answer is the opposite to pride is humility. So you have to become humble to not have pride. So if somebody gives you praise like, oh, you're so great, blah, 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 la, la, and then you'll have to say, oh, it's all Krishna's mercy. I have nothing to do. I'm just his instrument. And for the main thing for a prideful person, I got it from Shubha Vilas Prabhuji. He said that he loves to hear praise, and if he doesn't get anything to hear, like if nobody's talking about him, he just praises himself. So you have to shut their mouth, and also you have to cut off their ears so that they can't listen to praise, and they can't also speak praise. That way they'll become humble. No. Cut off the thing of not being not expecting anyone to read you. Just like Sugriva cut off the ears of Kumbhakarna, and Ram blocked his mouth with arrows. That way you have to become humble, and you should not become proud and think you did everything. You should not even think you had a part in it. You should only know that Lord Krishna was the one who empowered you, as Mataji said, to do the activity. And if Krishna empowers you, nothing is impossible.
You want to do another one? Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So there are two questions here. One is, if your job business engagement is become obstruction to Krishna consciousness practice, what is the right way to make it balanced to more Krishna consciousness? So this is again my perception. You can correct me. So basically, like you were saying yesterday, right? We are all here, standing in the citizenship lines, and made our life to whatever it is. I think it's a matter of perspective. About the right way about the right way of balancing with Krishna consciousness. So we should, we should take this as a service opportunity. That we have a job, and we are engaged in some kind of business, and use the Lakshmi that comes in the service of temple, or any other opportunity that may come, book distribution, etc. And not necessarily see it as an obstruction in Krishna consciousness. That is Krishna's arrangement. We have to go with that arrangement and not necessarily try to change it. I mean, there are extremes like, Varnashrama, sure. I mean, you can give up stuff and, go where you want. But this looks like a general practice, right? So I was telling the other Prabhuji earlier in the conversation, whatever we are doing, we should think that it's Krishna's energy, Krishna's intelligence that is empowering us in what we are doing. And it's not us that is doing. So that was that question. And the second is, if everything happens as per your karma, how much effect, positive or negative, astrology makes? astrologer says do this or do that, or your graha position will it help? Again, my thinking goes like, it's Krishna's arrangement. Don't necessarily try to change it. Again, the more hankering we have, that at a material plane we want to see certain things, be changed. Somebody who is sick, has to get good health, etc., etc. We should not do that. It is Krishna's arrangement. By Krishna's will, it is happening. Krishna is more merciful than us. He has more mercy than us. So, if Krishna has given certain condition, there is probably some learning that that person has to go through. Like it says in the Vedas, if you have a life-threatening disease, treat it as a blessing, and get into that groove and engage in whatever meditation or sadhana that you have to do. So this question is at material level, in my opinion, that one wants to change a graha position or to make things happen certain way. I think if we accept it as will of God and get into that groove, and like it says in Bhagavad Gita, Shitoshna Sukha Dukkheshu Samasanga Vivajjitaha. So whatever is bad phase is happening, it is temporary. Whatever good is happening, that is also temporary, and not get overexcited, in the happiest moments, and that way you won't be, underwhelmed or overwhelmed when you have to go through, distress.
Vivo.
Connection with Paramatma is very important. What you said, like aligning to God's will, understanding that Krishna has. So understanding that. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you. Having that faith. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is it better? Yeah. Oof. That was scary. Sometimes life is scary. Things happen that we don't like. It's not pleasant. But very, very good point that there you mentioned about to not fight too much, not to endeavor too much. Prabhupada said that in Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the purports, he's clear in the first canto, he says, how much we will enjoy, how much we suffer, it's already predetermined. Don't worry too much about it. And then sometime we may feel like, I should work harder, I should get a different job, and there's maybe a voice, that may be Paramatma. But whatever it is that we do, we should try to do in Sattva Guna, even if there is a change. But your answer was ultimate. Align to God's will. Pray and see what God wants. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Prabhu, you ready? We're all waiting for you. You're the...
Hare Krishna, everyone. So the question goes, Hare Krishna Mataji, why does it seem unfair for Sheshatalpasai to sleep and dream all this material world, that too karmic bound, where pretty much everyone suffers and has to suffer. Krishna, if he so desires, can make entire universe peaceful and ever devoted to him. But that is not the case. Why? Yes. I'd like to try to answer this question by giving 3 reasons. First one is, just try to imagine how the world would be if it was always happy. If you're trying to imagine the last time you were very happy, if everyone closes their eyes and thinks about it, when was the last time you were extremely happy? Then it is because today you're not happy. And the utility of grief is such that it leads you to think about a higher purpose. And someone told me, unless someone throws a stone from above, you don't see who's above. And that's the that's the utility of grief, and how you can think about it in this way. If everyone is happy, no one has any reason whatsoever to think about Krishna. This is one reason, and that doesn't mean you should always think about Krishna only during the times of distress, but it definitely helps to put your life into perspective. Why are you suffering? Does someone else have better plans for you? Just thinking about Krishna during that time is a great start. The second one is the concept of karma, divine justice. Anyone who's tasted prasadam or Mataji's cakes and know how tasty it is. It's not like we are in our worst situation and we are not experiencing happy things here. We are, if you look outside, it's a beautiful place where Mataji Prabhuji live in. But there are sad things that happen to people in life in terms of divine justice. You only look at things during one lifespan, but Krishna looks at hundreds and millions of lifespans. And it is actually fair that a person atones for his sins in his previous lives to make up for cosmic justice. And it is unfair if everyone is born with zero suffering all the time, even though he's put other people in suffering or whatever. So that is one way of thinking about it. About karma is, there is a reason why law exists. There is a reason why we have been given the agency to enjoy, and we misuse it, and we face the consequences for it. The third one is you were talking about Nirmacharanam Satam. If you always start thinking in terms of the oppressor and oppressed, if Krishna is so peaceful, so happy, it's so unfair that I am unhappy, I'm oppressed and suffering all the time, then it is like you are envious of the other person being happy. Technically, unless in the very rare circumstance, you can hardly do anything about Bill Gates being a billionaire and a trillionaire. Tomorrow you can't wish it to be you, and he has the karma available, you don't have the karma available. But if there is a person who owns the entire universe, then I think there is really no point in trying to be that person with zero happiness, and maybe Mataji can correct me on this, but Krishna also is sad when he's separated from Radharani, when he's separated from his devotees. He wants us to be happy. He's given us this association for that very reason, to become happy, to avoid all suffering, and to not think in terms of the material plane. And he's ready to come forward for assisting his devotees. For example, in the story of Gajendra, he forgets his chappals. In one of the Sri Vaishnava teachings, says he forgets his chappals while trying to come, and while Gajendra calls out to him, finally, after his leg is caught, he comes running. Oh, I have to go. My devotee is calling out to me. I have to go and help him because he surrendered to me. And if we think that we are alone, we are suffering, there is no hope for us, the universe of the king of the universe, the lord of the universe is ready to come to your aid any second. And that's amazing. That's all I have to say, man.
There's a Vaishnavacharya song that summarizes what you just said, especially the last part. ಮಟ್ ವಿನ್ನೊಳಗೆ ಗಜಮೊರೆಯಿಡಲ ಕ್ಷಣ ಮಡದಿಗೆ ಹೇಳದೆ ಗುಡುಗುಡನೆ ಬಂದು ಹಿಡಿದು ನೆತ್ತಲವಾಯ ಕಡಿದು ಪಿಡಿಸಿದನೆ ಸಡಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ರಮೆ ಪೊಡವಿಯೊಡಗೂಡಿ. So Krishna did this. When Gajendra was calling out to him, he didn't even have time to tell Lakshmi Devi, I'm going. Then he jumped and then he rushed, it says. Gudu gudane bandu, like when gudu gudu gudu, they come running. So he came running to rescue and says, why are you still not calling out to that Lord? He's waiting to come and rescue you. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So thank you everybody for participating, and you all did excellent, and you all nourished us, uplifted us with your answers and for participating. Anybody else likes to conclude something? Prima Rupa Madhavi or maybe Narottam Prabhu, would you like to add something to the Prasadam? Please.
Ma prasade Govinde, Namo Brahmani Vaishnave.